Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and stayed away from talking politics with the family. Here's to the holidays as well. It's sunny and bright here in Southern California, but I know the rain is eventually going to return and get its vengeance, so enjoying the good stuff while it lasts. Period 12 is in the books, and here are the scores. The New York Knicks, an orphan team, finally got their first win of the season, beating the Boston Celtics by a final of 109-107. The Knicks were led by Saddiq Bey, who notched 17.3 fantasy points in 35 minutes. Bey was a recent free agent pickup for New York. Keldon Johnson added 16, Anthony Davis had 15, and Dante DiVincenzo scored 14. The Knicks are starting to get healthy now, and the days of being a laydown win for opposing teams may be coming to an end.
The Fort Wayne Pistons made short work of the Alberta Cowboys, winning 126-101. The Pistons don't have much depth, but they are still a very dangerous team when healthy. And even when they are missing a star, Paolo Banchero missed the game. But the Pistons were still able to put up decent numbers behind Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Edwards, and Cade Cunningham, who all scored over 20 fantasy points. The Pistons are now 7-5, while the Cowboys slipped to 4-8 on the season. Alberta guard LaMelo Ball struggled, as did big man Jaren Jackson in the loss. The Warriors continue to roll, and the Rockets continue to struggle, as San Francisco rolled to a 132-109 win over Houston. Luka Doncic led the way for the Warriors with 27 fantasy points, and was helped out by center Neemias Queta, who added 23 in 29 minutes. Colin Sexton, Scotty Barnes, and Jamal Murray all played well for Houston, but the supporting cast simply didn't show up, which allowed the Warriors to get the easy win, which was their 10th of the season. The Warriors now have the best record in the league.
The Sixers pulled off an upset over Carolina, defeating the defending champs by a score of 124-115. Joker did all he could do for Carolina, scoring 25 fantasy points in 34 minutes, but the Copperhead backcourt struggled. Andrew Nembhard and Colin Gillespie combined for just 19 fantasy points in 63 minutes, which allowed the Sixers to take advantage with a combination of Tyrese Maxey and rookie Cooper Flagg. Flagg probably had his best game of the season, putting up 20.3 fantasy points in 37 minutes. Maxey was also effective with 22.7 in big minutes for Philadelphia. However, the MVP for Philly had to be power forward Jalen Johnson, who couldn't be contained. Johnson outscored Joker for Carolina with 28.3 fantasy points in 42 minutes of play. The Sixers are now 7-5, while the Copperheads sit at 9-3. The San Diego Saints got a night off against the Alberta Cowboys, who struggled badly. Alberta guard Emmanuel Quickly scored just 13.7 fantasy points in big minutes, as did Oscar Thompson and Peyton Watson. One bright spot for the Cowboys was center DeAndre Ayton, who has been putting up solid numbers in Los Angeles with the Lakers this season. Ayton is working for a very reasonable $8.1 million this year, which could make him a potential trade asset if Alberta looks to build for the future. At 27, Ayton still has plenty of youth, but his track record of injuries and underperformance could be red flags for a team in rebuild mode, like Alberta is at 3 wins and 9 losses. Meanwhile, the Saints got big games from Josh Hart and Josh Giddey in the win. Giddey went for 21 fantasy points in 33 minutes, and Hart added 23 in 37. The Saints also enjoyed solid play from newcomer Jimmy Butler, who scored 19.4 in 37. Butler's making big money, but he's been well worth the expenditure for San Diego to this point. So long as Jimmy stays healthy and is playoff ready when the time comes, the Saints feel they have a chance to win it all in 2026.
In our final matchup of the period, it was the surprising Poway Eagles who put up a mind-blowing 153 points against the Denver Nuggets in what was a blowout victory for the Eagles. The Nuggets are struggling with injuries as Victor Wembanyama, Domantas Sabonis, and Trey Murphy all missed the game. That left Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and LeBron James to do it by themselves. And it didn't turn out well for the Nuggets, who put up just 90 points in the loss. The Eagles have a secret weapon in Deni Avdija, who nobody seems to be aware of up in Portland. Deni went off for 33 fantasy points against the Nuggets in 37 minutes of play, setting the tone for the big night. Laker guard Austin Reeves also had a big night, scoring 28 and 41. And young center Zach Edey contributed to the blowout with 24 and 31. Poway is also starting to see improved play from their young guards with Reed Shepherd and Igor Demon. Demon was electric with 19 fantasy points in 31 minutes at the point. And the Eagles are playing without Stephon Castle, who is set to return in the near future. The Eagles also made a big move this past weekend, signing big man Pascal Siakam for a whopping $45 million. And the big fella didn't disappoint, scoring 19 fantasy points in 31 minutes in his debut. With an 8-4 record, the Poway Eagles are starting to look legitimate in the NBA Retro League and could make some noise come playoff time. Once again, your final in this one was the Poway Eagles 153-90 over the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets moved to 9-3 with the loss and fell out of the top spot in the league.
This has been an NBA Retro Fantasy Basketball League scoreboard update. Period 13 is underway, and the next round of games will be due this coming Friday. Stay tuned for more.